Hello everyone, I posted Friday and I am glad I did, as the kind people of this subreddit were brutally honest and helped confirm for me many of the things I had been thinking and the direction I should go. This may get long, so please excuse my ramblings. TL, Dr. found wife in bed with another man and went NC for 5 weeks, then MC for 3 weeks, posted to see what to do next. After reading everyone's replies and the messages, I took the weekend to let it all sink in and harden my resolve. I came to the conclusion that I was never going to be able to live with myself if I stayed with her. Staying and working on it would mean having to sacrifice a significant portion of my self-respect. I also realized that I want no part of a relationship that would require me to be in a state of constant vigilance for signs of betrayal. So I decided to push the proverbial red button and nuke it all. Here is how it all went down. Monday, I woke up early to an unexpected surprise. When I opened my eyes, my Johnson was greeting me at full attention. Guys, I can't stress how surprising that was to me, considering that since finding out about Ellie's affair I had not had morning wood. It was like my body was saying, hell yeah, we are gonna get this done today and be done, ready for something new. I actually laughed so hard at seeing it that Omar and his wife came to check in on me, thinking I was having some sort of mental breakdown. I got up, got ready and called Ellie's dad and told him we needed to talk. I met up with him about an hour before our MC. The whole drive there I was surprised at how calm I was about it. I could still feel an ocean of emotions somewhere deep down, but on the surface I was not feeling anything. We met up at a little mom and pop breakfast place near his house and we sat down. Ellie's dad is a good man, lighthearted and funny, but more importantly he is level-headed. I thanked him for how he and his wife had treated me all these years and told him I was sorry to have this talk with him. He listened patiently, but as I started telling him why I was going to be divorcing his daughter, he lowered his head. I could tell he was ashamed and angry, not at me, but at Ellie. He told me he understood, and I asked him to not tell Ellie, as I was going to be telling her within the hour. He agreed, we shook hands, and then he told me to take care. I hated having to shatter his image of her. I debated with myself if I should have asked him to care for her, but I shouted down that instinct because he is her dad. Of course he will care for her, but also it is no longer my business to care for her. She is a big girl. Next I went to our schedule's MC session. I had been rehearsing all day Sunday what I would say to her and how I would say it. I wanted to essentially emotion-proof my actions and words for the next few hours. I sat there in the parking lot for 10 minutes and just prayed. I hadn't felt like I wanted to or could since all this started. When we sat down for MC, Ellie was wearing one of the dresses I love to her in, and for a split second I forgot everything, but then the visceral disgust and anger I felt pushed the attraction completely out. I let the counselor get things going like our previous sessions, and after about 10 minutes of her and Ellie talking I interrupted. This is how it went. Excuse me, I have a few things I need to say into Ellie and that I wanted to be able to say here, with a neutral third party. If at any point I am interrupted I will simply leave, and that's that. Ellie, I have come to realize I do not need to know if this was the only time you cheated. It doesn't matter. I do not need to know how long it went on for. It doesn't matter. I do not need to know how many times you cheated. It doesn't matter. I do not need to know why. Even if there was a good reason, a perfect why, it also would not matter. The only thing that matters is that you did. I know now the only facts that matter. You were never going to have children with me. At this, Ellie opens her mouth to interject and I started walking to the door, so she immediately backed off. You were going to string me along for however long it would take. You were going to cheat on me sooner or later. This is when the waterworks started to open up for her. You do not respect me or love me. The counselor begins to look like she is about to interject and I respond by taking another step towards the door, which ends that. My lawyer is filing for divorce as we sit here, and as of about an hour ago your father knows the entire truth of what has been going on. Do not contact me. From here on out the only person we will communicate through are lawyers. These are the last words we will ever exchange. Goodbye. I walked the last few steps to the door and walked out. As soon as I closed the door I heard a wail the likes of which would haunt people's dreams. She scrambled out of the office pursuing me and tried to stop me, telling me how sorry she is and how we can start a family and to give her a second chance, as she cried hysterically throughout. I pushed past her and got in my car and left. At this point that ocean of emotions that had been quietly hiding underneath it all started roiling and I was barely holding it in. I drove to my parents' house and sent the text message I had planned to Ellie's best friend's husbands. When I got home my old man was at the store, but Mom could tell I wasn't well. She has always been able to read me like a book. I told her I needed to tell her and Dad something important, and we sat down and waited. At this point I have to thank responsible_mode_114 for messaging me. We chatted and he totally calmed me down. About 30 minutes later Dad arrived. I poured it all out. The more I talked, the more I felt that ocean of emotions emptying and all that pain pouring out of me. When I finished talking to my dad, he just held me as I cried into his shirt for a solid 20 minutes. When it all ended, I felt spent and oddly at peace. I have arranged for Omar to receive a Harley he has been eyeing for a while. He has been more than a friend to me, and I am going to try my best to be as good a friend to him as he has been to me. I can't wait to see his face. I think this is the last time I will post, as it should be the end of this story. I just want to thank you all. Would have never thought that I would find sound and sane advice from strangers on the internet. I know that it will be a long road ahead, that I will still need IC to deal with the aftershocks of this debacle and rebuild my ability to trust. I have to hope that little by little all this pain and sadness and anger will go away, like Roto-Rooter for my soul, if I do the work. Now begins the rest of my life, and I can honestly say I'm looking forward to it. Comment 1. I'm sorry for this happening to you, the suspicion and then the total betrayal of bringing him into your bed. I hope it was solved without hassle for you, as you had more than enough evidence. Good luck with your future. Also, good thing you messages the husbands. It was good that you did that. Even if they trust their spouses, it's good to hear that they covered up cheating. Comment 2. As of mid-December, I am officially divorced. She tried for about 2 months to contact me or send messages through friends, and I shut that down and kept NC as best I could, but we live in the same city and have overlapping circles. Ran into her a couple of times, once at the supermarket and another time at a social event. She tried to make small talk and I just excused myself and left her there. Not gonna lie, she looked good, but it's like a poisonous animal, pretty to look at, but you keep your distance and never ever touch it. This whole experience has changed me. I find myself craving more time alone out in nature than ever before all this. One of the husbands I contacted filed for divorce around the December, though I don't know the details. I am no longer in that constant emotional pain, but it took a lot of support from family and friends, and even then I have flashes of anger or sadness sporadically. Time in counseling is helping me mourn and start looking forward to the future. No longer having dreams about her or thinking of her constantly. The business is doing good and I am almost 20 pounds down. Spending tons of time with my nieces and nephews and hiking. Not planning on dipping my toes in the dating pool anytime soon. That's pretty much it. Comment 3. Not much to update. I may update in a month or two. It's been quiet. Mediation went well and divorce will be finalized by December. She tried to get a hold of me or send me messages through friends/acquaintances for a few weeks. I think she finally got the picture that there is no chance I'll ever reconcile or be in contact with her again, so she stopped. My sisters and Omar and his wife have been keeping busy/entertained. Lost 15 pounds so far and been spending a ton of time outdoors, which was something I hadn't done before. Have kept up the NC, so I don't have much to say about her, but I heard from some folks her business is doing really well. Only negatives at the moment are that I'm having the most vivid dreams I've ever had, and some of them have been nightmares involving her, having almost no angry days, but a lot of low-grade sad days. Oh, and my libido thinks I'm a 14-year-old again. Omar says I just need to get laid, but I can't even begin mustering the energy to go on a date. Right now I feel like I'd rather go spend 4 hours hiking like I've been doing 2 to 3 times a week than one night trying to get laid. Oh. Almost forgot, and I got a Labrador, Max. Comment 4. Doing okay. Divorce mediation has gone pretty smoothly and I'm having more normal days, though normal means a kind of general low-grade sadness. I moved into a new place and she is buying me out of my share of the house. She has tried a few times to initiate communication, but I've shut that down except for one time when I was weak and exhausted and had to go to the house to get a few things I forgot when I moved out to the new place. Learned from that mistake. I was in a rage for 2 days after that incident. Frankly, the hardest thing has been trying to stop myself from trying to find out how she is doing. It's been good spending more and more time outside and have found that to be a kind of refuge for me. Omar and his wife have enjoyed the bike. My family has been very supportive, but I had to talk with my sisters to get them to stop trying to set me up with someone. In thinking about getting a dog for my own sanity, there is a part of me that greatly misses having someone around and caring for someone. So generally it's been very bland and unnoteworthy few weeks. Comment 5. What had me in a rage was the things she said, stuff like why won't you fight for us? And we can be a family, and at first I had a moment of weakness and responded to some of her bullcrap and then realized what I was doing and shut up and went about my business, not engaging head at all. When she saw the guilt tripping wasn't getting a reaction anymore from me, she started saying angry mean shit and then go, I'm sorry, I just really want a shot to save our marriage, and rinse repeat the cycle. It was so freaking hard to just get my stuff and get out without engaging more. She tried talking my parents into convincing me to give reconciliation a shot. That went as swell as I expected with my mom, lol. She basically told her to go to hell in that very special semi-diplomatic way mom has of saying stuff when she is pissed. Yeah, I'm picking a dog next week. I have a puppy picked out, a Labrador. Comment 6. Congratulations Confundus Charmed for your decision. The only thing that sounds bad to me is that apparently there are no consequences for AP. AP is a typical case of underdeveloped brain. Surely he detected that Ellie going through a difficult time in her marriage, and instead of helping her to reflect and encourage her to resolve her marital situation, before starting something with her, he preferred to continue. Why AP preferred to continue? The reason is simple. Knowing that Confundus Charmed was blind to the situation, he wanted to enjoy all the moments when he was in a married woman with other man, showing to himself and the other people that he was winning, and even worse, thanks Ellie's permission, he was using the place where she lived with Op to deceive him. This is a typical male mammal behavior, marking the territory of another male. That attitude is not from an evolved human being. AP knew all the time that he was affecting with his behavior the relationship between Op and Ellie. He did not have any moral values. His attitude is typical from a basic predator. Exposing cheaters to their own families and friends has always been a great measure, because after that they then have to spend their own energy, their time, demonstrating that they are faithful again, which benefits the rest of society, since it requires more effort from them for any new attempt at infidelity. Regardless of their time, cheaters within their families and friends always try to keep their image of correction. They become the good guys, since they do not want to lose any of the affections they receive for being part of. Furthermore, in no case do they want to lose their impunity and thus avoid being evaluated for their behavior by their family members. They will not change, they will always end up doing again, with different excuses, since they do not respect another person other than themselves. Confundus Charmed had a right and mature reaction. Since the discovery, he has sought to strengthen his self-esteem. He has shown how a true human being face a betrayal and lack of respect, such as he had lived, that is, he avoided any fooled or any manipulation from Ellie. Well done. Comment 7. Brother, really, I think it was a wise decision. The damage was and is irreparable. The important thing from now on is to help you feel good. The first thing, apart from going to IC, try to enroll in a gym. This will help you a lot. Try to do a lot of physical activity. It helps both mentally and physically. You will start to see things from another perspective. Your self-esteem will notably increase. Start eating healthy. Do not get away from here. One always requires advice, and even more so on this path, which you undertook. A hug, and I hope to continue knowing about you, and as life begins to smile. Comment 8. Excellent handling of this. You did, in my opinion, the best thing. She was too brazen. This is not her first rodeo. You are and will be plan B till she finds A. I am glad you value yourself. As to saying goodbye, this ain't over by a long shot. Next up probably going to be self-deletion attempt or a nightmare divorce. Pull up a chair. Take a breather. You reached stage 2. Getting the divorce decree is another long slog. Keep no contact. Good luck on divorce dance. Comment 9. Yes. I totally agree. This post. VC getting cheated on totally broke me and I'm still not over it, and it's been about 3 years. The relationship was on and off for 7 years and we had gone to elementary and middle school together and I trusted her and never did I think that she would cheat on me. I admit that I'm so depressed, but it's gotten better time. But I still feel a void inside me, letting it be known that I am affected by this, as much as I want to lie and say F at #K that be. But she hurt me. So bad, so deep. Reading her post and all the comments gives me hope. Yes, I did leave her, even though I truly loved her. The thought of her cheating behind my back gave me a bad taste in my mouth and totally disgusted me that I wouldn't have time her or act nice. She duck and sucks, even though I know that she has self-esteem issues, cannot trust. She got cheated on supposedly, but now BC it turns out that she's a habitual liar. And I never saw it. But I realized it when I got her phone and looked at her MSGS. She is a big liar and she's ducked up in her head, heart and the way she views herself. And her family doesn't accept her as a lesbian, and she says nothing. I can't live like that where my partner's family won't acknowledge me, but she has no issue it. Ludicrous. That was the reason I better up her the first time. But anyway, thank you for posting and you kicked ass. But what's her plan now? Comment 10. My dude, you handled yourself like a boss, and with class and self-control, and not only confronting her at MC but taking the initiative and holding her accountable not only to her cheating, but that she no longer would hostage your heart and soul. And in the very place where many in your position as a man the narrative would spin in her favor, you took control not only from your ex but the therapist as well. This was your true therapy. You took the steps in reclaiming your life back. I couldn't be more proud, my man. I know it hurts right now because taking down that wall when crumbling is draining, but you will survive this. You will rebuild to be something new. Stronger. More powerful. And I guarantee you, this is the moment where your life begins again. Congrats to you, man. It might not feel like a victory, but you have just laid the gauntlet down for a better world in yourself. Brick by brick. You will find happiness again. Much good luck to you. Thanks you for watching. Everyday new movies. See you soon.